Welcome to the stream. We are having a little bit of an interesting stream today, in that we're starting earlier than I should be starting in terms of preparation, but later than I should be starting in terms of scheduling, so pretty much par for the course. We open up this, and I think... Nope, I don't have it popped up here yet. Let me a sec. We'll just pop it here, then pop that. Yeah, there we go. You see? That's cool. Okay, now we just pop this open so we can get it to a good Ivid the Undying. Carl Sargent. It is a book that was about to be released by TSR, and then it fell through the cracks, I believe, when they got acquired by Wizards of the Coast, and it had everything prepped, though. And let me just go to here. Go into the... boom. I might just declare Greyhawk's Wednesday. That might be a thing. Ooh, Draft. Canton. Huh. I kind of want to know where Draft is now. Probably a Darlene map. I would guess would be one of the ones. Nope. The thing about Wednesdays is I don't... So I have to tell Christoph it's Greyhawk Day, essentially, which is why... Hi, Eddie! Welcome! It's Greyhawk Day. Hello. Okay. I guess I didn't need to do the whole... Guess we're not doing Christoph summoning, Okay, I guess we don't need to do the summoning ritual then. But we do need to bring up this, which is let's see. First thing we're gonna do is open up the Greyhawk wiki and also the map for yeah, we're gonna bring up the map. And then we're gonna, so I think if someone wanted to type, actually, I can test it in the chat. I think it's, Greyhawk. So, there we go. So essentially, Greyhawk is a really epic creation of I think it was Gary Gygax originally came up with the idea, but it was really who I want to say it was Anna B. Meyer who drew the map, and a lot of people. Carl Sargent, good morning, Christoph. Hello. A lot of very cool people, kind of let's see, nope. That's the one. A lot of really cool people contributed, and continued to contribute to Greyhawk, fussing with lore, headcanons, storylines. I ran a Thirsty Sword Lesbians game in Hardby one time, except I invented a whole combat system, because Greyhawk feels like it needs a little more fisticuffs. And there were orcs, and the orcs were secretly in the employ of the... It was a whole thing. But I felt like it needed more fisticuffs, so I kind of cobbled together a better system for combat. And, yeah. So, but yeah, every about once a week, I try to do a stream focusing on Greyhawk. Now, the exciting thing about Greyhawk is the wiki. So apparently the wiki decided Principality of Ulik is the one I like the best. So, and I am logged in because Christoph would be annoyed with me if I edited it when I wasn't logged in. But essentially, there's an entire wiki, which is just everything you need to know about Greyhawk, except it's not quite complete. And, no one put a thing on the Old River, which, let's see, it's near the where is the Old River? Let's see if we can find it on the map. Selene, the Uleks are south, so that's Principality. The Old River would be, that's the Jewel. Oh, and that's the Jewel, because everything, what's the term, east of the Jewel had to get retaken after the Greyhawk Wars. Oh, the Old River is up here by Northwick, okay. And right where the county and the Principality border. But there's no page on the Old River. Fun fact. Oh, hi! TMI 94. Cool beans. Welcome. So, today we're doing wiki editing for Greyhawk. The world of Greyhawk's pretty cool. At least I think so, personally. So I've been doing wiki editing, and one thing we've been working on is the Solnar Compact, which is boom. So it's got Relastra, Unsi, and Roland, and it's the Solnar coast of the former Great Kingdom of Verdi. So was it established pre-Greyhawk Wars though? That's Hi Sig, welcome. Because I feel like it wasn't. Was it established? This is a question of like, because a lot of these weren't really, the real dissolution didn't happen until after the Greyhawk Wars of the Great Kingdom. But anyway, and he is allied with the Sea Barons, so that works. I feel like there's a better way to. Alright, hang on. We're gonna see if we can make this link work. If not, Christoph is indeed a grand source of knowledge. Greyhawk, what if we did this? Hear me out. Let's see if this does. We're messing with the links. It might. I'm not an expert at coding. Alright, let's save changes. Ha! Well, it looks weird, but it links to the Greyhawk Wars. Grand Poobah of Knowledge. Alright, you know what? I mean, you are the head librarian of the Greyhawk Wiki, so I don't know, but it's... So is it better to look weird and actually link to useful info, or to look cool but not link to useful info? That is an important question. That is a philosophical question, and I don't know how to answer. It would be better if it was... I see. What if... Can you put a number with a line? With a pipe? I mean, and then have a reader... Never mind. That is... I'm going to leave it as is, and then leave the rest of the wiki to decide whether it's really that ugly or not. But we were working on... We're working on Roland. So... it's not really I mean, is it still a stub despite all of this? That is a question. Alright. Let's see. Oh, so our source. So, Carl Sargent wrote Ivid the Undying, and he was working for Okay, well, let's take that out then. Boom, 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 boom. We will just kind of do that. And then we'll go that. And it kind of is a minor edit. I should have clicked that. I probably should click the minor edit button way more. But there we go. City of Roland. So Carl Sargent is super cool and a well-known writer for TSR, which was a company run by Gary Gygax before it became Wizards of the Coast, and were the publishers of the first few editions of Dungeons & Dragons, and are generally considered to be really cool, and it was a shame about them breaking up, but there was, like, all sorts of stuff behind the scenes that I did not know too much about, because, reasons. Anyway, if we do this, there we go. Carl Sargent, Ivid the Undying. So Ivid the Undying refers to Ivid the Fifth, who was a king of the Great Kingdom of Aerde until the Great Kingdom of Aerde fell apart, and after the Greyhawk Wars, although it had been kind of falling apart for years, bits have been breaking off. Functionally independent, actually declaring independence. Like, it had been going downhill for years. And then Ivid, I believe, became an animus, which is either a lich or an animus, which means a brain, an undead, a person of undead origin who's not just, a mindless zombie or anything. He actually had his brain about him. As much as he did when he was alive, anyway. Sane is a little strong word to describe Ivid, but, he was sentient undead. Yes, that's the word. A sentient undead. Like Drax, actually, who runs Relastra. And one of the 5 of Roland. Roland has, which is one of the free cities. Jireen, who was one of the 5 of Odin, was also an animus, although it kind of messed with his head and is no longer sane, but he's still as smart and capable as he was before, which, combined with the new paranoia, not make for a solid rulership. But Carl Sargent wrote this. It's about the breakup of Rel Astra post-Greyhawk War. It's about the breakup of Rel Astra after the Greyhawk Wars. And there's a lot of stuff. We've been focusing on the free cities, which is the Rel Astra, Roland, and Unsea. Each of them, the 3 of them formed a group called the Solar Compact. And we've been working on them. I think there was Farlin and... yes. Right, because after the Greyhawk Wars, it split in 2, and then Roxas, which was formerly the capital, kind of vanished. There was this great big glowing ring of mystery vibe that just kind of appeared around Roxas. I think Evan was inside at the time, and just kind of, and if you go in, no one who's gone in has ever been seen again. Sometimes monstrosities come out. It's terrifying. No one knows what the deal with it is. And it's just kind of sitting there being scary. So, because of that, a lot of stuff happened. And Carl Sargent wrote this entire book about what happened after that. And then, how much? Hang on. Well, let's go to 96 first, the Free Cities page. Because we were working on that. Basically, there was very little... Like, Unsea and Roland didn't even have pages in the wiki. And because Carl Sargent wrote this entire book about what happened to the area after the war and had detailed, lists on both Roland and Unsea, it was like, well, that needs to change. And you can just get your hands on a copy of this fairly easily. It counts as canon. It's been declared to be that because it was written for TSR and set up as to be published by TSR and then just never quite got published, and which is a shame, but it's, you know, oh, a moat around the ring. That is a thought. That is a thought. I had not heard of that, but that is actually a really good idea. I mean, if I were living in the Great Kingdom, a moat around the ring, I don't know if there's been enough monsters to warrant a undertaking of that size. Well, especially because of the political organization required to a moat around the entire city would require the kind of political organization that's not really there after the war. But that is a thought indeed, isn't it? Huh. Okay. The Bay of Gates. So we had the City of Roland. I'm gonna see if there's anything in our here that we haven't put in. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Whoever that is. All right, free cities. Power center of the lands over which they lay claim. Each is a high rulership, a tyrannical system of government. Each maintains its own small fleet of coastal defense vessels and allows proclaims independence from Roxas. The cities have a definite alliance. There's mutual understanding between them that should one fall, the others would be jeopardized. Thus, political emissaries travel from city to city, keep their rulers in touch, showing formal marks of mutual respect. For all the differences, their fates are intertwined. Finally, the term city is something of a misnomer as far as Roland is concerned, since the place is but a town, but it has pretensions. Ah, okay. Interesting. That is very fair. So it was published. There you go. Nice little technicality, and it was a shame that there are no print copies, because it's a really nice looking book. And it would also be really handy if you were running a campaign in, you know, the ex-Great Kingdom right around when the Greyhawk Wars ended, to have a nice physical copy. I like tattooed dead tree versions of stuff. That's just, you know. Let's see. Rel Astra. We didn't poke at Rel Astra any when we did our, because it had the most of any of the cities, but it might be worth checking if there's anything in here that isn't in the Rel Astra. Solar Compact. Rel Astra. Oh yeah, because it has way more than any of the others. Oh! Cool. So the Change Cat was invented by a sorcerer from Rel Astra who is not named, but that's pretty cool. It's in the notes section of, here. And this one. Fiend Sage. I don't know if that counts as a legislative branch of government, but sure. Okay, that's one way to put it. I would put that more under administrative. Than legislative? Maybe that's just me. But yeah, Drax is... Oh, Drax is a prince of House Garisteth. The original ruling family of the Kingdom of Verity. Fun fact, actually. Hector, Procan... Yeah, Rel Astra is well, I don't know if there's anything... I wonder if Megdia... Oh, sorry. Megdia... okay. Hang on. Sorry, I'm... thinking too much. Alright, let me see. Jewel River. Alright, we're in the wrong part of the map, is what we are. Nyrond. North Kingdom. It might be curious to see if... No. That's to south. Mountain. No. West. No, right? That's... No, it's north. North. Okay, so here we go. North Kingdom. Not that it's not interesting what's up there, but it wasn't what we're focused on right now. Northern Kingdom. Kind of the east, right along the coast. We got... Untia, yes. It's still part of the kingdom. Roland, here we go. And then the Gull Cliffs, and then Unsea, and then the Lone Heath, which is kind of no man's land, because Oh, also, if any of you want to distract the focus to another part of Greyhawk, or have a suggestion on what we should try to peck apart next in the book, or anything like that, let's read what the book says on Relastra. Let's start with that, and then we can see if there's anything that might be in there. Just out of curiosity, because it's an interesting... Carl Sargent's a good writer. From his throne in Relastra, Dax proclaims domain over a huge swath of land. He cannot enforce his will over the Grandwood, of course, but elsewhere he controls much of the fief he claims. The lands northwest of the Grandwood pay tribute to Drax, though they may feign allegiance to Ivid. This is for several reasons. Firstly, because by sending some taxes to Roxas, the local landholders have learned that they can keep the Overking's armies away from their lands. Ivid is not overly concerned about them, since there's no major power focus here. Secondly, because Drax does not demand further taxes from them. Third, because Drax's Iron Nation Knights have been dispatched when needed either to strike at those who fail to pay homage, as a decimation of Kranzer's Beacon of the Ready Reet showed. In Ready Reet being a month of the year. It's, I think, just after Patchwall. It's closest to November, I believe, in terms of thing. It's the fall, at least in the north. That's an interesting question, though. The equator. No, they certainly aren't. But Christoph might know this. Hang on, let me look at map. Let me bring up the map. The equator, let me see. Let me zoom out as much as we can. So the Flyness is definitely to the north of the local Greyhawkian equator, right? Oh, I suppose there's no way to prove it. Yeah, definitely to the north. If the ICC is to the north of then it's definitely to the north of the equator. I would say the equator probably goes, if anywhere, let's see, Hempenland? No, that's not Hempenland. Hempenland is over to the other side. That's the Meadow Jungle, so that's pretty far south. If I recall correctly. Oh, Hempenland. Yeah, that's this little island here, and then to the south is the Kalo Hills. The map, oh, I should shout out Anna again, because Anna is amazing. And definitely makes all these cool maps for us, and just sets them up with, but I would guess the equator is somewhere around south. Maps of Orth are harder to, full Orth are harder to find, because everything interesting and everything published by the Wizard of the Coast happens, not everything, but 90% of everything 90% of things that happen in Wizard of the Coast lore take place in this swath here. It's called the Flyness, and right around Greyhawk is the main, which is right just south of the Near Div. Oh, here, yes. Ernst is to the east of Greyhawk, if only barely. But yeah, most of it takes place in Greyhawk, just south of the Near Div. And so this larger, this area called the Flyness, which is just a chunk of a continent, really, becomes the focal point, and there's a whole planet that doesn't get explored as much. But there's a few set in the Ameko jungle, and including one whose name is really hard to pronounce, and I forget. Well, I think Greyhawk. Well, Orth was just kind of supposed to be, allegedly, the Earth with a Jersey accent. Yeah, hung out with people who said Earth with a Jersey accent. It sounded like Oith, and they just kind of went Orth as the kind of compromise of that. That was the allegedly inspiration behind Orth. The Greyhawk, in universe, it was named for the Greyhawks, the kind of birds that flew around the area. Well, it was named for the free city of Greyhawk. Castle Greyhawk was the first thing that Gary Gygax came up with, so he probably just kind of came up with the name because it sounded cool, and then kind of put the nearby city in, and then just kind of it spiraled from there. That's why everyone calls it Greyhawk, is because the city was the first real world building that we got. That and Zagig's castle nearby, which has a whole thing of history to it. That's why the world Greyhawk is called Greyhawk. In terms of the others, I honestly don't know. It's it was a podge-modge of different people picking names for stuff, trying to sound like they were from various cultures on Orth, if they were being particularly things, and certain cultures on Orth have not allegories exactly, but are similar to certain cultures on Earth. So I think what they probably did was they said, well, okay, if their culture is similar to this culture, maybe we can pick a name that sounds like the language of this culture. Like Zaif, for example, is probably named under that theory of, well, okay, their culture is a lot like the Persian culture that of early Iraq, so we should pick an Arabic-y sounding name. That's Zaif, and probably a lot of Ekbir and Jumet probably got named under that. Yeah, it's a sultanate. I mean, you know. So a lot of stuff here probably got named under that naming structure. And then, yeah. Ila Thufi, yeah. Ila Thufi, yeah, definitely named under, make it sound like an Arabic name, because the Baklunish people were of that descendant, or the Baklunish people were similar to people of Arabic descent on Earth, so culturally, so maybe we should make their, you know, the lands tied to them sound like Arabic. So there's a lot of those. Probably a lot for this area of the map as well. I don't know, honestly, how people came up with names. I know some of them are anagrams to stuff. I did not do the thing yet. I haven't done the thing yet, because I was going to do the thing, and then I got distracted by asking about names, and then we were talking about why stuff was named stuff, and I honestly have no idea. for a lot of it. So, you know, but I was spitballing theories, and linguistics is my like thing. I classically trained linguist. At least I got my bachelor's in linguistics. So how languages are put together is kind of my specialty. The closest to an academic specialty that I have. Mind you, I don't remember a lot of what I learned, but I did learn a lot more than the average person on that. But Azure C was probably named because it's blue, honestly. I don't know. I can't tell you about any of the others. I know Woolly Bay. Well, Hardbee was named, at least in universe, was probably because of the hard bay, and I bet someone was like, Hardbee. Sounds like, yeah, that's often, that is an option for naming things. But the thing about Greyhawk is that it was created over a course of years by a lot of different people pulling, with lots of different traditions of how to create names for fictional things. And they pulled from a lot of different traditions, and then some of them are like Bright Desert because it's bright, and then they tried to come up with a justification in universe as to why they did the Bright Desert. Which I guess is marked as the Empire of the Brightlands on this map. Although a lot of the what's the word? Who a lot of people don't what's the technical term? Recognize the empire, the desert, because there was a whole political thing with the Empire of the Brightlands, because it was founded by one of the Circle of Eight who betrayed the other. It was briefly the Circle of Six because he killed a member and then ditched. And, he killed two members, one of whom stayed dead, I guess, is the right way to put it. Wizards have exactly, amalgamation of writing, over the years. And honestly, it's kind of interesting, to think about. I didn't, But, yeah, there is a whole history of the Brightlands where, it was... Someone asked about that recently, and we looked up on the wiki. It's got a whole, it was betrayed, no, what was it? It was the betrayer, wizard, fled and founded the Empire of the Brightlands, which is not really recognized by a lot of people from Greyhawk, and anyone who's allied with Greyhawk, which is kind of everyone, because they have a whole political, they have a lot of political power, and so everyone's kind of aligned, in the area at least, is allied with Greyhawk, which means that if they don't recognize the Brightlands, nobody's really gonna recognize the Brightlands. But, we were doing the other, completely different thing. We were reading about Relastrat, and we got distracted. I mean, yeah, I suppose, in terms of TSR thing, which is probably why they did the whole Greyhawk betrayal storyline, but does not help the people of Greyhawk, certainly. Oh, right, the Tax Knights. The Iron Nation Knights. And Ready Reet. We were explaining Ready Reet being the and I wanted to know if it was north of the equator or south of the equator, because Ready Reet is fall. I guess, oh, that's a thought. I don't know if the Circle of Eight did merge, but, don't know if the Circle of Eight did merge. That is an interesting thought, though. If they did, then they could, I guess, sell new Circle of Six merch, but I don't think they did the whole merch thing. Could be wrong, though. Right. And then I wanted to know, I was mentioning that Ready Read was closer, analogous to November in terms of the time of year, and then I wanted to know if it was north or south of the equator, and then got distracted by maps and naming, and we got very distracted. Focus. Okay. Let's see. Iron Knights, they dispatched to Kranzer's Beacon in Ready Read. Or to assail any who attack those who do not pay homage. Ooh! If you attack someone, who do pay homage. Yeah, so that actually gives you a little extra protection. Drax doesn't need to maintain garrisons everywhere. In dealing with small men, as the northwestern rulers are, he only needs to show that he can be crushing when he needs to be to earn their allegiance. Drax has been clever with these lands. He does not need heavy taxes from them, but he does lay claim to a small number of veteran troops whom he keeps posted in their homelands and whom are available to him. In this way, his rule is not onerous to the minor nobles beyond the Grandwood, since the tithe troops are not taken away to weaken their homelands. It's just, if he needs troops, it's like, well, yes, but that, I feel like, would be not beneficial to anyone if you had to rewrite all the contracts to say Circle of, I suppose, although I probably just rewrite up all the same contracts with all the same people. Just rewrite them to say Circle of 6 instead of Circle of 8. That's assuming that that any of the contracts were under the Circle of 8 to begin with. They might have just been the Wizards of Greyhawk, and then that doesn't change the contract when there are fewer Wizards of Greyhawk because one of them got killed by another and the other ditched. You know what I mean? But that's a thought. Drax also lays claims to much of the old Megadia, and here his claims is but a formality. These lands are in chaos and ferment, and Drax's claim is only to establish a precedent should some form of peace descend upon them. No one disputes the claim because no one cares. Ooh, yes, establishing precedent, not a bad idea. Drax is clever. Oh, bye-bye! Thanks for stopping by. Always fun to see you. Let's see. Drax is an animus. He was an obvious target for Ivid, given the power and wealth of Rolastro and Drax's position as Scion of a rival royal house. During the wars, Drax sent armies to Roxas as Ivid asked, but the crucial event was the sack of Megdia and the subsequent attempt to loot Rolastro itself by troops which had become overfond of slaughter and pillage. Obviously, Drax was furious about this and ordered his own troops in the Overking's service to pillage and ruin as many of Ivid's supply lines as possible. Oh, infighting. Those orders were intercepted and Drax was magically abducted. For once, there was no advance warning from his fiend sage. Ivid released Drax, assuring him that the Imperial armies had attempted to loot Rolastro from a fit of overexuberance and that their commanders had been suitably disposed of. Drax feigned understanding and allegiance, but as soon as he returned to his city, he began planning to overthrow the Overking. Of course he did. He does not have any true natural allies in this. Okay, hang on. That I don't know if that went in the page. Other princes of his own house, Garastath, are wary of the old tyrant. No one has ever truly known what Drax really thinks and believes, so no one has ever trusted him much. Drax's tactic, therefore, has been to accumulate as much wealth as possible to buy allies and resources and to use the power he has to force others to accept him. Many of Drax's old concerns, where he was but the when he was but the constable mayor of Rolastro, have evaporated. Once Drax had to seek alliances with the Sea Barons and Megadia to balance oppressive forces of the Overking in the North and South Province. Now, with the North Province seceded and mostly concerned with barbarians, humanoids, as in orcs and that kind of thing. Okay, they use the term humanoid is a different way of using it than the modern D&D uses it. I will mention. That's the term. Oof. Humanoid here means specifically orc, goblinoid, the goblin sub-branch, orcs, that branch of beings. They use the term demi-humans for dwarves, halflings, gnomes, elves, et al., which I feel like is, yeah. I mean, it's a technical term, and I guess it works, but that kind of brings the thing of, well, are humans really the baseline? Although, use of humanoid to describe anyone who is sentient and upright and of that subtype is not much better, admittedly. But, you know. But yeah. So yeah, they're concerned with orc raids, essentially. Rilu's Madman Ruler. Wait, what? Hang on, what the frick is... Hang on. Rilu's Madman Ruler. The threat is gone. The South Province has no interest in the faraway city. The Sea Barons come to him rather than the other way around. Just as Drax has strengthened his rulership to the point of tyranny, he has many fewer external political threats to worry him. Hi, Horse Clamp. Hello, and welcome. I want to offer promotion of your channel. I appreciate the offer, but I appreciate the offer, but I'm not interested. I run my chat. I have a bot that I use in chat, which works pretty well. And for views and followers, I trust my charismatic personality. It might be a mistake, admittedly, but viewers and followers, I'm trying to attract them by just being me and hoping they show up. And while it would be cool to have more viewers and followers, I trust that they'll come in time. I've been doing my own promotion, but I appreciate the offer. And you are welcome to hang around. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, as long as it's not mean to anyone else, I generally let them sit there unless they're particularly mean to people. Because, you know, like, on the off chance it's actually a person, they're allowed to view, you know. And, if it is a bot, I mean, the bot can hang out and chat. Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't know if the bot's sentient. And, I don't want to hurt its feelings. It can, you know, can hang unless it starts being actively mean to people. You can hang. It's cool. Okay. Okay, what the heck is Rinluru's? Because that's what I want to know. What the heck that is. Does anyone know Rinluru? What Rinluru is? And who's what Madman Ruler, I mean, maybe. Oh, okay. I mean, it's true. It is bumping the numbers of viewers up. But, you know, what was he gonna say? That's interesting. If there is more drama in the area, that might be a good play to focus on. But, let's see. Rulership to the point of tyranny, political... Okay. Delglath, the Undying. Ooh, another Animus? Because I know Drax is the Undying, because he's an Animus. And Jiren is technically Jiren the Undying, unless he's technically the Doppelganger. Because there's no proof that he isn't. Like, there's no proof that he's not the Doppelganger. And that the real Jiren isn't out there trying to overthrow him. That's not a proven thing. Assuming that there ever was a Doppelganger, and that's not just a trouble in the subconscious. Yeah, assuming there is actually a Doppelganger, there's no proof that that Jiren is the real Jiren. Although, at a certain point, does it really matter? Like, if there were two Jirens after he became an Animus, and then one went back to rule Roland as part of the Five, and the other just kind of effed off and tried to overthrow him, you know, then does it matter which of them went where? You know what I mean? If there was even any way to tell the original when the creation happened. Let's see. Okay, Relastra. Okay, so is all of this in the Relastra history section? Oh no, Drax is the invulnerable. Right. Well, I mean, because he doesn't die. He just chose the type invulnerable because he thought it sounded cooler than undying. Made him sound scarier, I guess. Okay. Alright, let's see. Twin Cataclysms. Zul migrate east. So this is for those of you not familiar with Greyhawk, which is not Kristoff, and Sigmund, I'm sure you know this before, but we have other viewers, I think. Let's see. So the Twin Cataclysms, minus 421, common year, forced, that was 900 years before, pretty much over 1,000, actually. So they started going east. So there were many Iridian tribes already dwelling in the region to move further eastward, and they had moved east after the Hawkish? Not a terrible name. Hawkish is not a terrible name. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm getting... I might have to end this stream soon, but yeah, they, Yardi, yeah, so the Yardi were originally an Iridian tribe, moved the furthest east, reaching the Solar Ocean and establishing their city's lair. City of the Heavens, interesting. So in negative 200, the Kingdom of Yardi was there. And then they lost the... Yeah, no, I know that. Believe me, I know the having too many settings stuck in your brain can get end up mixing and matching bits. Oh, shoot, I didn't switch the Majiggy Whatsits. I'm reading from here, not from yeah, I know about having too many settings in the brain. Believe me, I do. And there's definitely bits of Greyhawk that I keep forgetting. Because I get distracted too. My other settings. Ooh, in January though, speaking of other settings. Like, true, Jayhawk is, like, Altamira is canonically not there, right? There's that. Let's see. Okay. Kingdom of Yardi, Relastra. Oh, Relastra was the capital. Okay, so the House of Garisteth lost the throne of Yardi to the House of Crandon. And then they moved it to Roxas. So, negative 109. Almar the Second, the House of Rax, in the Battle of Fortnights, length. This victory doubled the size of the kingdom, creating a true empire, which is now renamed the the Nairondes. Oh, okay, so this is when Nairon became part of the Great Kingdom. Briefly, yeah, I mean, this is also super helpful for me because I wouldn't have known any of this unless the thing, which is partly why I wanted to edit the wiki, because I'm like, if I don't have access to information, no one else does either. Or they do, they're just not sharing it with the rest of us. So that's why I wanted to keep updating the wiki to be better. But I'm also wearing, check this out. The shirt is another not YouTuber, Twitch streamer. Although we all are on YouTube too. All our archives are on YouTube, so it's both. But Darling Creepshow, who is very cool. I don't have a plug set up for her, but she is really cool. And she's going to come on as a guest at some point soon. Yeah. If you guys would give me a minute, hang on. I am so sorry about that. Oh, yeah, the 5 gangs. You started actually posting about them, actually. I remember, and you started doing details, and I'm excited about learning about the gangs, honestly. They sound pretty cool. I'm back, though, and hopefully I wasn't gone for too long. 3 minutes at most, right? So, not great. Okay, but I'm back, I promise. But what? Let's see. The province of Nairon broke away from the Great Kingdom. The Nairondes, yes. So then, in 400 years later, in 356 Common Year, the province of Nairon broke away again, clearing independence. Medved I, King of Nairon, declined the Great Kingdom's power and influence, which eventually resulted in generally widespread rebellious attitude throughout the kingdom. So this is the history of the Great Kingdom, which got, I think, reposted because Rel Astra used to be the capital, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And it provides historical context, so it's very well good to be left here. It's just, yeah, the Herzog of the North Province, David the First. Ah, yes. So when Nairon broke away again, the political compromise, getting Ivid I on the throne, was to get Almor, Meggedia, and Relastra as little sub-provinces. Has remained an autonomous city-state ever since. Right. Favorite destination for anyone who finds themselves suddenly out of favor in the former Great Kingdom. Now the United Kingdom of Melissa. Okay, right. So and United Kingdom of Melissa is post, so okay, if, yes, 437, so it became its own thing. So 437 is when it became an autonomous city-state, and, ooh, fun. They look pretty fair. Oh, right, we have to, fix this. Hang on. We're fixing links. Roland. Enemies, history, allies. Here. I think you put... If I remember correctly, you put this part before the pipe. If I'm wrong, alright. Blink fiddling. Pipe down. If I'm wrong, we have to fix it again, but I'm just testing. Ha! I was right. Now the link works. Check it, check it. We fixed a couple links. It's always fun to fix links. In 213. Okay, so 213, the royal astrologers relocated to Relastra after falling out of favor with the Overking. Oh, so even before it became a, so even before it became its own city-state, that doesn't make sense as an example, but it is a useful historical tidbit, so we could leave it in there for now. Since the Greyhawk Wars, Unseen Roland formed the Solnar Compact, a triumvirate of free states united for mutual protection and trade. In 586, the capital of Roxas suffered some unknown magical catastrophe, which I was talking about earlier, which, coupled with the death of the Overking, at this point the Great Kingdom evenly split into two parts. During the chaos that followed these two events, Prince Drax of Garisteth, who has ruled Relastra since 557, broke completely with the Great Kingdom. Interesting. So, 37. So, 20 years after it became... Alright. I do what I can. Sometimes that's just little tweaks for the wiki. Sometimes that's large projects of picking things apart. So 20 years after Relastra became a city-state, Drax took over. And the question is, who was before Drax? That would be an interesting historical tidbit. But, wait, nope, not that one. So, as of 591, Relastra has captured nearly 1/4 of Megdia's former territory. Count the Sea Barons as tentative allies. It is known that Drax would like to have much closer ties, bring the Sea Barons fully into the Solnar Compact. However, Lord Basmagian of Esperity, leader of the Sea Barons, has resisted any type of permanent alliance with Alastra because he and his nobles distrust Drax's motives. It is known that Unsee, while technically an equal member of the Compact, is in fact under the boot heel of Lord Drax. Lady, the sign of Unsee, lady, she has a name, and I forget. I want to say her name is Lady Emma, but I feel like that's not right. Okay, now it's going to bug me until I find out what, Roland, Free Cities, Strington, Fiend Sage, Roland, and Unsee. Oh, also Greldon needs a page. Smugglers, Unsee. Yeah, still plays. Amara! So, it was Amara. It was one off. We do get points, actually. Fun fact about the wiki. We do get editing points for stuff, and it gives us, like, little achievement dings, and then the top bunch get, the top 8, I think, because of the Circle of 8, get free copies of the Orc Journal. And I'm actually pretty high up on there now because of all of the edits I do. But yeah, the, we do have an achievement point system. I haven't checked my standings in a while, but I remember this because I was, like, pushing the top 8 for a while. And I think you said I kind of technically counted because you don't count yourself as part of that, but, like, you deserve to be counted in the top 8 because you're freaking Kristoff the Librarian. The Grand Poobah of Knowledge and all that jazz. Or it's temperate zone. Winters are fairly mild. Temperatures rarely falling below freezing. Spring is a nice time of year with cool breezes blowing from the Selenar Ocean. Disappointingly short duration. Summer can be rather warm. Tempered only occasionally by the cool winds from the ocean. Autumn can also be pleasant as temperatures start to cool down, but lasts no longer than does spring. In addition, autumn is the stormy season. Okay. They have, like, a whole decent halfling population. I remember because I played Mara was a halfling. She had a tailor shop on the outer walls of Relastra, and her brother had gotten an inn and had a tailor shop on the inside of the Welastran wall, which, they had a secret route through that they didn't tell people out. Oh, but, that became part of the, Relastra campaign, except that the party didn't go back to Relastra. So, Mara still has, like, a lot of clothes for, Anaho. Like, Anaho still has a lot of clothes that he never went and picked up with Mara. But also, Millie has the squishy skirt that she never picked up with, Hannah before she died. The seamstress in Hamlet, who, Millie, may she rest in peace, never went back, and then Hamlet got sacked and presumably kind of died in the wreckage. And I mean, it's not a bad gig. I've been a shopkeeper, since the beginning, actually. Like, since, I mean, yeah, that's assuming you're end up in Relastra and not in Aird. In, yeah. Exactly, see? We all get bonus XP for editing the wiki. I don't get a lot of XP for the Discord because I'm do long periods where I'm just don't... I bounce around a lot in Discord to various servers, and sometimes I'm active on certain servers, and sometimes I'm not, and the Greyhawk Discord server is one of those ones that suffers when I bang off to other servers, and then I look, oh, Greyhawk people, I should go say hi to them, and then come back. But, oh, well, if you're see, then you're in a completely separate campaign. But yeah, depends on what campaign you end up as a merchant in. And then, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Freaking, yeah, Mara, Anaho never went to pick up the shirt, so Mara. Well, I don't have any good coding skills, but I do try to end the wiki. Oh, right. I was going to do a thing where I, okay. We're gonna do wiki. That was what we were gonna do, was go to the this page and this whole thing about the friggin' unsee. Okay, hang on. We were in Relast. Sorry, I got distracted trying to figure out Amara's name because she was Lord Amara. Like, she was like 2 letters off from Lord Emma. Also, hi, we have new people in. Welcome. Or rather, we have more viewers than we did before. So I'm assuming new people come in. So welcome. Hi, I'm Lee. EMH vibes today. Share that is fine. Just remember, I'm not a woman. We are editing the wiki and doing shenanigans and Greyhawk wiki, which is super cool. And pop in and say hi in chat. Don't be scared. Sig and Kristoff don't bite. Oh, yes. Roland, unusual form of government. The Fiend Sage, which is Relastra. Right. So, if we go to Life of the Trade and Travel, the city. Okay. So. Okay. So the question is, how much of this should go in the history section of the Relastra point of the wiki? Because a lot of this isn't here. I'm sure elves are super shitty. I've heard. Well, you said that too. Let me see. So, that's hang on. So, boop. There we go. Okay, so, Temperate Zone. Okay. Solar Compact. Relocated, so that's the Relastra as of then. So Relastra, Drax is an animus. Oh, the whole how Drax became an animus. Okay, hang on. That wasn't in. Stop it. So my computer decided it wanted to pop up a thing, and I don't. Well, thank you. Go away. Okay. You have yet to be mean to anyone. You have yet to be particularly mean to anyone in the chat. Therefore, oh, that's true. You've never said you don't bite. But you've yet to be mean to anyone in my chat. And you know that if you start being mean to people, I'm going to get annoyed, and you don't want me to be annoyed. Okay, maybe your don't bite is, not the greatest metaphor, but... Oh. The fact that you're nice to people in my chat is a truth. That is based on... Rel Astra means City of Angels, so... Or City of the Heavens, so Rel probably means city. Based on that, based on the ancient Iridian tongue. However, Iridian tongue is, Orith is the continent. That's true, although he was pretty mean back to you. So, you were remarkably patient with him. Considering. I knew you wanted to be meaner to him, but you were remarkably patient. And I appreciate that, because I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you helped me with that. So, I appreciate you being remarkably patient. What was I gonna say? Okay, so Drax proclaims dominion. Yes. So Drax became animus. That was an actual thing. That okay. Solar Compact. Ooh, conquered. Okay, so Okay, so Drax then sent armies to help the Overking during the Greyhawk Wars, right? That's what. Um. Okay, so this we'd put a paragraph between the paragraph about how Relastra is its own thing and the paragraph about since the Greyhawk Wars, right? Because there's nothing of Relastra during the Greyhawk Wars, which I think we can make a thing. We just have to exactly, which I appreciate, what we need to do so here's what we're gonna do, because I need to take a nap before work. That is an important thing. I have to go in early today because of the stupid frickin' and it's raining. It's raining. And I have to go into work early to do the thing, and we don't get promised food. Which means I'm gonna have to pack a lunch or some sort of food because we get an hour break and I need to eat something during that point. So that becomes a whole thing. Alright. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start with the Okay. During the wars, Drax sent armies to Roxas as Ivet asked, but the crucial event was the sack of Medegia and the subsequent attempt to loot Relastra itself by troops which had become overfond of slaughter and pillage. Obviously, Drax was furious about it and ordered his own troops to, in the Overking's service, to pillage as many ruins. Okay, so, abducted. Hopefully the power doesn't go out. That would be bad. If the power went out, hopefully your computer has charge and you have, backup. Charge your phone. If the power's about to go out, put your phone on the charger, because get as much juice as you can into it so that if, something bad happens, you can, I don't know, text me or something for help. That's an important note. Yeah. Hopefully your power doesn't go out. That's not good. What was I gonna say? All right. I'm always up for new ideas. I will keep it for later if you have a cool idea. I always keep cool ideas for later. Okay, hang on. Sure. All right. Oh. Huh. That is a thought. You missed Draxi with 3 eyes. But yes, he was probably very brief and died young. But my point is, that is a thought. Give me a second. Let me bop that. But okay, hang on. My point was I was gonna end the stream at 11:30 because I think that's not that. Putting that in the. Okay. Oh. No. No, you didn't. Because that's not how Roman numerals work, but IIV isn't a Roman numeral. But anyway, point being, I do have to end the stream soon. But what I wanted to do first was to go to the wiki. So, okay. During the Greyhawk Wars, I think when they say wars, they mean the Greyhawk Wars, right? So here's how we're gonna play this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to edit. Okay. We're gonna leave that in because it's an interesting historical tidbit. Okay. During the Greyhawk Wars. Sent troops to aid Lord Drax. There's probably who had been who had been in charge of Relastra since okay, hang on. When was he put in charge? Yeah, but that would be Drax. Oh, what was I gonna do? Oh yes, I was going to okay, so sorry, I'm debating with we're debating the nature of the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. Baffled Kings composing Hallelujah and all that jazz. And Drax with Roman numerals and shenanigans. Okay. Right. When was Raxon put in charge of Relastra? That is an important question. We had a thing. I think that was in the wiki. Hang on, that was in the wiki. Okay, we're gonna Alright, we're gonna leave that out for now. Lord Drax sent troops to aid, the Overking. Lord Drax sent... Okay, so wait, there's no comma here if that's the case. Aid the Overking. This proved to complicate matters between them, I guess would be one way of putting it. Okay. What was I doing? Several, of Ivid's Ivid 5th, I believe. Which, okay, I think the key to that is, okay, so, oh, sorry, here, I'll show you what I'm, sorry, I'm just trying to, write, I'm gonna write, like, a little paragraph about it, and then what we're gonna do is, to sack. Wait, that means the Fiend Sage was the Fiend Sage even before Drax became an Animus. Which, that's a whole other question of, that I, supply lines to it was during that time that Drax became an Animus. Okay. I think that's about as much as we can do right now. That's bibliography, hang on. Avid the Undying, yes. Available on, okay, so we Alright, we're gonna do this. And then, okay, yeah, it's definitely not a minor edit. We're gonna add this little tidbit to the history of, yeah, and then we can add, I mean, oh, you have 17,000? How many do you need to vibe? I forget how many you need for different things. It's 20,000, right? I'm gonna do more, definitely gonna do more, more Greyhawk streams. I think I'm gonna, at least for now, start doing them on Wednesdays. It's not anything crazy schedule, but I'm tentatively gonna say next Wednesday also gonna be Greyhawk Day, and then go from there. And you can come to other streams too, not Greyhawk streams. I know it's not as interesting for you, but you can come and hang out. But my point on that was, we're going to end the stream here for now. I know Sig knows because you have done more Saturday streams than anyone else in the. I mean, I think Blue Box did one, but he did it with bits, and then Kayla did one for she requested the epic other stream. What stream was it? I can't remember what stream it was. Oh, the really cool Dark Tide stream, which was actually a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that might have been mostly it in terms of stream requests for Saturdays. Ugh. All right, I need a nap before work, and probably eat something that would help. You guys, thank you for being awesome. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be the best on how to do a wiki, but you know, I'll say what I can. Okay. All the work is saved. That is the important thing, is that you save your work, which we did. Next Wednesday, hopefully we can do another one and dig more into, absolutely. Yeah, next Wednesday, for sure, we're going to do more on the Drax. We're going to flesh out the paragraph if no one else has. And then maybe, do some other fun stuff with the Carl Sargent book, because there's other cool things besides the free cities in there. Okay. Let's see. Is there anyone fun we can raid? Oh, I think Mike Disney might be on. Yeah, he usually goes off at noon, so we can pop in for the last half hour of his stream. Which, not that one. I think might be a fun. Yeah, let's pop in for the last, yeah, let's pop in for the last few minutes of Mike Disney stream. Pop in. Good friend of the channel's. Always a good time. Does the best music. So, you know, there's that. Let's do it. Off we trot. Bye.